Hey, hey. Finding your balance when it comes to kids, work, etc., etc., etc. Um, so all of those things obviously can be super, super overwhelming. I used to have two jobs. When I started Posh, I had two jobs. And I will tell you that I did not fully try with Posh because I thought, like most people, that I didn't have enough time. I didn't. But I did things that were time sucks, like stay on Facebook for a million hours, or go on Pinterest and be lost for an hour and a half, pinning recipes that I will probably never make. So instead of doing that stuff, I could have been trying to work my business or working my business. So I did start to work it more when I had the two jobs. Um, so yeah. So the reason why you would like to find balance is most of the reason why people quit, besides not feeling successful, which could actually lead to not feeling successful, is being overwhelmed. So when you feel like you've done so much work, and don't have any rewards from it, it leads to low morale. It leads to you thinking that you should quit because you put in all of this effort, you put in all of this work, you're just exhausted and you're burnt out. When you're trying to balance work and kids and activities and Posh and maybe another direct sales company and full-time job and whatever you are balancing. Nobody here is probably doing just one thing. So everybody has to find balance somehow. All right, so most people quit because they feel overworked and have very little results. So you have to decide that you're going to do it and prioritize how you're going to do it. So have a plan. If you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you always got. So you have to, in this balancing, you have to find what works for you. Not everything that's going to work for me is going to work for you, and not everything that's going to work for you is going to work for your team member. Because maybe I have kids and you don't. Maybe you have a full-time job and I don't. Maybe you have this and I don't. I mean, everybody is different. Everybody has their own things. Okay, so first we're going to figure out where all of our time goes. So when it comes to your business, you want to set aside a certain amount of time. I like to say an hour a day. If you have less than that, but that's because I do it full time. I consider it my job. This is my job. So if you don't consider it your job and you have a full-time job and you're a part-time posher or you just share, with your friends and stuff, then maybe 20 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day or even 5 minutes a day, as long as you set aside some time every day. This is the key to being successful. However you define success, even if it's making $50 a month, $100 a month, $500 a month, is how you define success, because we're not going to define it the same way. We do this for different reasons, I'm sure. So you're going to analyze where your time is going. So today, what did you do today that went right involving your business? And why did it go right? Is it because you set some time aside? Is it because, I don't know, is it because you scheduled out some time? Why did it go right? So that's one. There's 8 of these. Number 2, what went wrong today? What did you want to do that you didn't do? What did you do that wasn't really successful? And remember, you do learn from things that you don't consider successful. I learn more from things that go wrong than the things that went right. 3, what time did I start the top items on my to-do list? So did you start your day in the morning, or did you try to get this all done at the end of the day? Could you or should you have started these earlier in the day, and would it have led to success? Make sure that you're not reaching out to people within hours that are like maybe beyond their realm. Like maybe, you know, you don't want to be reaching out and following up with people at like midnight unless you stay up at midnight and that's what time your crowd is up. You know, you don't want to be messaging people too early or too late. So, what patterns do you see in the time that you're doing? Do you do things at the same time every day? Would it be okay for you to make a schedule, or are you more sporadic? And the thing is when you try to do things in your free time, you might not get to them. You might not have that free time unless you kind of set it aside a little bit. So what part of today was the most productive and what part of today was the least productive? What are your biggest time wasters? So this is something that is my problem. And just like I said earlier, an hour and a half on Pinterest and just pinning recipes that I'll probably never make. So Facebook tends to like kind of suck us in, and we tend to get caught up in what's going on Facebook, or caught up maybe in some drama that's on Facebook. A kid better not be coming in here.
I have to go potty.
No, go to your bathroom. Anyways, so analyze what your 3 biggest time wasters are and see if maybe you can minimize what that is or replace it with something. If you're already on Facebook, then you might as well reach out to some people. Am I right? If you're already on Pinterest, you might as well pin some things from your site and put your site on them. Hi! Yeah, so make sure that you are not wasting way too much time doing things that are, let's say, are not money makers, things that are not necessarily going to help you. Even if you are having conversations with your friends, even if you are having conversations with your friends or building relationships with them, that's work. You're working. You're building your relationship. Maybe you can follow up with them. Maybe you can sneak in some posts to your VIP group. Just make sure that you are being productive and not wasting too much time when you're trying to be productive. That's why having a schedule is good. What activities need more time and what activities need less time? So are you spending enough time making samples? Are you spending too much time making samples? Are you spending not enough time in your VIP group and too much time making samples that you're not passing out because you're not interacting enough in your VIP group? Does that make sense? You want to equally balance things. You want to make sure you're getting samples out to people as well as interacting with people. A balance. And then the last time analyzing question is, what steps are you committed to make a better use of your time tomorrow? So this is where schedules really come in handy. Calendars really come in handy. If you happen to be in a super busy household where you have football and karate and dance and activities and grocery shopping and your work schedule and your husband's work schedule and the dog goes to the vet and the kids go to the doctor and so on and so forth. If you have stuff like that, keep a calendar. Set aside some time to work on your business. Set aside some time to do a mystery host party this month. The thing that I think that really helps is sent share. And I know it's kind of cheating, but it really does help me seem like I got my shit together. So it saves me. It's a posting program that is $10 a month, and you pretty much decide what you put in it, and you can post to your VIP group, you can post to your page, you can post to your personal wall. Now you can post to Instagram and Twitter. It's crazy amazing. I haven't used those features yet, but awesome. So Facebook groups even have a scheduling thing now for free, but it's only in groups. It's not in like events and stuff yet. I hope it comes to that because it'd be cool. But with Send Share, it's really awesome because you can batch post your parties, and then post your whole party and then just change like names and things like that. Yes, it saves me. So you can batch post your party and then you can be interacting with your guests instead of worrying about posting every 3 to 5 minutes. Total lifesaver. God forbid if you are not home and the parties, you have to do the party. I've done that before where I had to do a party and have send share, and I was trying to post stuff on my phone, which means I was going into a different event to try to take it and put it in that event. It was a mess. It was really bad. Like really, really bad. Yes, you can absolutely do that as long as you map out some time or schedule some time. I'm not saying you have to have like a crazy down to the minute at 3:05 you're going to do this and at 3:10 you're going to do that. But just make sure you're setting some time for it. So SendShare is amazing. Write down your weekly goals and break those down into daily goals. So if your weekly goal is to sell $200, then break it down to so much a day, or let's say 10 days, $200 in 10 days. So that's what our thing is to have a chance to win this awesome business builder bag. So you're going to break that down to $20 a day. You're going to reach out to 5 people a day. People that you sent samples to or people that may need to reorder. Reach out to them and ask them if you can go ahead and put in an order for them. Start a conversation first, of course. Don't just be like, hey, girl, you want lotion? Start a conversation with her first. Let her know you were thinking about her and that lotion that she bought a few months ago and see if she'd like a refill, or maybe even she bought some face wash, see if maybe she'd like a mask. Just talk to them and see if you can get them to maybe place a purchase. Tell them like a deal that you personally have going on this weekend or this week, the end of month, what have you. So if you make it a point to try to do that, to reach out to 5 people, easy peasy. Like, that will help you be more consistent. If you want, I suggest you writing it down at the end of the day for you to do the next day. So before you go to bed, just think about 5 people. Look at your order history or just your mind and write down 5 people that you think that you should reach out to tomorrow. All right, so have at least 5 things that you want to accomplish. So reaching out to 5 people can be one of those 5 things. Making 5 sample packs, making 5 recruiting packets, bringing stuff to the post office, scheduling some VIP posts on SendShare or in the scheduling Facebook group thing. So just think of some things that you want to do, write them down. That always helps you be accountable. That always, always helps. Because then you can go, did I get this done? Okay, I got none of my 5 things done. Like, what am I doing with my life? Let's try to do them tomorrow. Get them done tomorrow. So if you want, I'm a rewards kind of person. I really am. Like, if I make a list every day for a week, I will treat myself to something because, go me, I completed that stuff on that list that I made for myself for a week. So I rock. Give yourself a little treat. Even if it's some of your Posh pay, buy yourself more Posh. Buy yourself a Frappuccino. Buy yourself some little treat, or just go somewhere. Go somewhere as a little treat. So, all right, now we're going to talk about work, kids, and other direct sales companies, balancing those things. Those are the life things that kind of spread out and get all over the place, and then you're trying to balance your work and then get your kids and then go to soccer practice and so on and so forth. Those are the obstacles that you have to find balance around. Okay, so my remedies for finding balance at work. Bring stuff to work if you are allowed to. There are some businesses where you're not allowed to solicit, but if you are allowed to bring stuff to work, bring stuff to work. Put a hand cream on your desk. Put a hand cream in your bag. When I worked at a restaurant, I would put a hand cream inside the break room, and people would use it, and then people would fall in love with it. And then I would place a bulk order and get hand creams for everybody. So if you can bring stuff into work, bring stuff into work. Call, text, or message 3 to 5 people before you go inside your house. Okay, so if you are coming home from work, and you're about to go inside, and your husband and your kids or your dogs or what have you are inside, and you just got off of work, make it a point to, at that time, those 5 people that you wrote down, if you haven't had time for the beginning of the day, then make time right before you go inside. When you go inside, you're going to want to hang out with your family, you're going to want to pet your dogs, you're going to want to watch TV, cook dinner. So at that time, contact those 3 to 5 people. Call them, text them, message them, email them. Whatever their way of contact is, message them or talk to them. So do that before you go inside. Every night you're going to want to write down 3 to 5 people. And if you do that 6 days a week, you contact people, that's 72 people a month or more that you have reached out to. So 3 to 5 seems like a little number, but throughout the whole month, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of follow-ups you did. You were awesome. You followed up with 70 plus people. So break it down into bite-sized pieces. Don't try to spend one day reaching out to 72 people. You're going to get burnt out. You're going to feel like you have done so much work. So spread it out. Don't overexert yourself all at one time. So schedule some engagement posts while you're at work. So engagement posts are great because, one, they improve the Facebook algorithm. So Facebook has this thing called the algorithm, which is like their mathematical way of making it so some people see you a lot and some people never see you. So if this person doesn't like your stuff, comment on your stuff, or generally interact with you, then they won't see you that often. So the people that do, they see you more. So engagement posts can be done on your personal page, your like page, your VIP page, what have you. And pretty much it's anything you want it to be. It can be related to Posh or it can be non-Posh. Thanksgiving, what is your favorite side item? Halloween, what costume are you wearing? I actually have an entire folder in here.
You can spill the whole thing of tea.
Okay, clean it up. Okay. Anyways, ask them what they're going to be for Halloween. We have an entire folder of engagement posts in here. And you can always create more with the super easy app. Or you can just write it because Facebook has those cute backgrounds now. So pretty much so that causes them, people love telling you their opinions. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right now. If you ask them if they like coffee or tea, they're going to want to tell you if they like coffee or tea. Then you can go in about our coffee products. So, yeah. So, use the Facebook algorithm in your advantage and post engagement posts. You can schedule those on your group thing, on the Facebook group thing, or Sent Share, or Tiny Torch is another one that you can do like 5 posts a day for free. And so, yeah. That will get you out there without you actually having to be there. You can also schedule reviews, like, so say you reviewed something, you took the picture, you did the review, or is the feature of the week, and you have it posting. Maybe you spent one day scheduling your post for the week on that product, maybe your feature product, the feature product, what have you. You can have certain days like Tip Tuesday or What's in It Wednesday, Flashback Friday, Throwback Thursday, Manic Monday, just kidding, Meme Monday, stuff like that. So you can schedule stuff like that for your VIP group or even on your personal page so people are actively engaged in you even when you're at work or with your kids, like on the weekend or something.
The tea's gone.
Okay, thank you. Don't come in here again. Lord. All right, so that's all I have for work. Oh, and take advantage of your breaks. If you wanted to reach out to those people during your break, reach out to those people during your break. If you wanted to schedule a few posts, go ahead and do that. If you want to use your break to just catch up on what's going on in the day, obviously don't overexert yourself. Don't spend your entire break on stuff. My kids are driving me crazy. I told them I was going to humiliate them in front of the camera if they came in here. And obviously they're not scared. All right, so kids. Kids is the next one. How to balance those things. All right, so while they're at school, in bed, nap time, while you're in the pickup line, while you are away from them, or while they are preoccupied. Make a little time to write down that list of the people you want to contact, or make your schedule, or, what have you. Make that time whenever they're a little preoccupied, set them up with an art project that you can sort of closely monitor so they don't color on your wall, which mine still do that sometimes, and I feel like they're too grown for that. Another option is getting them involved. Lincoln loves to be in front of the camera. Lincoln loves to tell you what he thinks this smells like or feels like or what you should do with it, even if it's wrong. They're a mess. So get them involved. Let them do reviews. Let them unpack things. Let them help you with samples as long as it's sanitary. Make sure your kids' hands are clean because kids are disgusting. I worked at a daycare for 2 years and they will put anything and everything in their mouth or nose. So make sure your kids wash their hands before setting up your sample packs with you. So get your kids involved. You can get your husband involved. Make it a family activity. Sometimes I will give my husband samples and stickers to put on the samples. And I will tell you that sometimes he does worse than the kids do. One time, I'll never forget, he took one of my labels that's supposed to go on the back of my samples and smacked it right in the middle of the sample and covered the name of the product with my sticker. I'm like, really? Now they don't know what it is. Gosh. So yeah, after you've trained your kids and your husband, involve them. You can schedule a fun contest or fun things while you're out with your family. Maybe ask them what they're doing, what their favorite fall activity is, what's on their bucket list, etc., etc. Share what you're doing for the day. Share that Posh allowed you to do what you're doing for the day. Posh paid for your zoo trip. Posh paid for your super fun lunch at such and such restaurant. So, yeah. That is all I have for the kids. And now for the other direct sales. Okay, so this is a tricky one. I think this is going to be a little opinion based. I think that when you have your hands in too many hats, it's very hard to keep up with it. So I think that if you are going to do more than one direct sales company, which is totally okay, it's totally allowed, try to stick to like 2. The thing is that you think that you're getting a little bit of money from all of the companies, but it doesn't equal a lot of money. Whereas when you put your effort all towards one company or even two companies, you will see way more results. It's very hard to keep up when you're doing multiple things. Every single company has their own paydays, has their own deadlines for things, their own special days. It's just hard to keep everything all together. So I think 2 or 1 is the best balance. So give the one you're in, which is obviously you guys are with Posh, give the one you're in all the effort that you can. Obviously, again, 5 to 10, 30 minutes, an hour, however you want to balance out for it. So make sure you have passion for both of the ones, both or the one that you are doing. Make a habit of looking in the newsroom if your other company also has a newsroom or an upline page. Make some time that you set aside to check up on things. So see what the sales are, see what the things going on are. Noon Eastern time or 10 Mountain time is a really good time for Posh because that's usually when stuff happens. So make sure you have a calendar that has all of the important days on it, like payday, splurge, whatever other companies may have. If their sales come out on certain days, just make sure that you know what those days are because that will help you balance it. So you're not guessing, oh my God, so what's happening with this company today? Oh my God, I totally forgot that it's splurge day. So make sure that you have like a little calendar that just gives you the bullet points of the things that your companies are doing. And that's pretty much it. You just don't want to do too much. If you do too much, whether it's too much with you're trying to balance your kids and your job and Posh and another company and so on and so forth. If you're trying to balance all of that stuff without kind of trying to schedule it or spending certain amounts of time on certain amounts of things, you're going to overwork yourself and you're just going to feel like you spent all this time to be poor. And you spent all this time working and working and it's not good enough, you know, like you're not seeing the results that you want. So when you balance it, you set aside times where you work on it, then it'll definitely help you see better results. So lastly, I have don't be afraid to take a break. Sometimes, even with balancing, I am burnt out. Sometimes it feels like I have spent all day doing something and I just don't want to do it anymore. So don't be afraid to take a break. Don't be afraid to turn your phone off. Don't be afraid to take a day off on the weekend or on a weekday or whenever. But don't quit. You have to be consistent. You have to set time aside to do things daily, even if they're only 5 minutes. If you aren't consistent, you're just going to keep putting it off. And then you're not going to see the results that you want to see. And then, no offense, but that's kind of your fault. It would be my fault if I didn't set aside the time and I didn't work on doing the things I said I was going to do. I'm wasting my own time then. Why did I even set that goal if I had no obligation towards myself to do it? You have to actually do what you say you're going to do. So don't be afraid to take a break, but don't quit. There's no reason to quit. Just set some time aside and figure out your own balance. Your balance is going to be different than my balance. You have different amounts of time than I do. You wake up at different times. You have work and I don't, like I said earlier. So just don't quit. Remember why you started this. Remember why you do what you do. Whether it's to be part-time, full-time, a business owner with a huge team, someone that just buys gifts for their friends and family, someone that just purchases for themselves. It's up to you how you want to run your business. That's the awesome thing about our business But you can run it how you want. And that is all I have for today. So let's not forget that you can win this awesome bag for getting $200 in sales starting now until the end of the month. So I'm going to make a post to put the screenshots under. Actually, you know what? I'll keep track. I'm going to screenshot it whenever we're done. When you get $200, you'll be entered. You don't have to show me anything. And then for being on this video and being super awesome and watching me, you are entered to win what's in this bag. Thank you for watching me ramble for 40 minutes. I think this is the longest live chat we have ever had. And I want to hope it was the most informative live chat we've ever had. And I hope that everyone has a great night. And I'm going to go see what the heck my kids are doing because it sounded like they were throwing things out of the cabinets. Everyone have a great night. Bye. Thanks for watching.